Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Rose. I'm accompanied by my brother Greg, and we want
Hello.
to talk. We want to talk about my book. Hey, where did the decades go? It's my memoir, and both of us were around for most of it. And we're going to ask you to take a listen. And if you like it, you can go on to Amazon and find it there. You can find it in the book form, paperback, or in ebooks. Greg, would you like to set up the first story, please?
No.
Excellent. That goes just perfect.
All right. So here we are. We're of course we're a little bit older in age now, so we have to go back in time here. And we're going back to
Four.
1964 or so. And there's four of us around the dinner table, which is weird because we're around the dinner table, but it's 1964. So we're all mom and dad, me and Mark. We're all just sitting there having a nice dinner. La la la. Of course, I'm only two then. Mark is seven. And we're all just kind of having dinner. And
So of course, probably about this time, Greg would be just getting out of the high chair. But Pop turns to me and looks at me. He goes, "Boy," he goes, "you're going to visit Nanner tomorrow." And I never thought that meant,
luckily, you boy, not me boy.
yeah, the wrong boy. I don't want to get the boys mixed up.
I'm
But
only
Pop used to
two.
refer to me as that the whole time I knew him until I turned 40. But then I was another word, but I'm not going to use. But anyway, the next morning comes around, and our mom, has a suitcase for me in a little steel lunchbox. And
Ready for your trip.
yep, and Pop
Big
gets in the
trip.
car, drives me to the Sandy. This is
Off
taking
you
place.
and dad go.
This is just Dad and I, and so I thought Dad would be going with me. And we go. This is
What?
occurring in San Diego, California. So good old Pasternak Place was where we lived. And so we drove to the bus stop, and I thought it was great because they had these huge silver buses. And as a
All
little
fun.
little kid, I was like, "Wow, this is going to be great! Look at there's a dog on the side of it. It's going to go fast. This is going to be great." And at that point, Pop pats me on the head. You don't want to show too much signs of affection, and points and goes, "Get on that one." And off I go, and I turn around. He's walking away. So the bus driver just looks at me, and I take my little tiny suitcase and uh, uh, lunchbox and find a couple empty
You're
seats. And the
you're
first
on
thing I
your
noticed,
own. You're a 7 year old and you're on your own by
it's
yourself.
it is unbelievable. But
And this was okay. This
yeah, it
even
was
back
perfectly
then, it
okay.
was
The
okay.
fact that I
But
was
Mark,
going
what
to
could
visit.
possibly go wrong?
Exactly. I didn't know what my grandmother, who we called Nanner's real name was. It didn't dawn on
Nanner.
me till several years later she had a name other than Nanner. I didn't have her address or her phone number or anything else. And the bus chugged off to Santa Ana, about a 65-mile drive. I'm not going to go into it very deep, the drive, other than to say that it took forever. But in the afternoon, we pulled in, or the early evening,
Two
we
things
pulled.
happen on the bus that are in the book, which are
Yeah,
pretty
but
funny.
well,
Not
they're
funny
pretty
at the
fun.
time, but funny now.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, he gads. Anyway, we get to San Diego bus stop, and of course, Nana, who's been retired for 20 years, is too busy to come get me. So she sends her sister's boyfriend, who I'd never met, to pick me up. So here I am sitting on my suitcase out front of the bus stop, and
All
it was,
alone.
yeah, alone amongst the people, adults. And here comes this ranchero coming up, belching blue smoke, and some guy with his head out the window yelling my name. And of course, I'm the only kid alone here. So I see
But the
Freddie
only one
has,
that answer to Mark. Hey, Mark.
yes, yeah,
Mark.
yeah. So I don't know who he is. So I get in the
seven
back
year
of the
old
car.
named Mark. Anybody?
Yeah, anybody there? Anybody? What was wrong with a kid getting in the back of a car of a perfect stranger? You think that would be the end of me, but since I'm still here. So we go to visit Nanner, and Nanner lives just two
Well,
miles
Mark,
from.
in the meantime, when you got into the car, you didn't sit in the car. You sat in the back of the car.
That's right. The
And what kind of
Ranchero
car
was
was
like
it?
a
It was a
it
Ranchero.
was a half car, half pickup, and I sat back there with the broken engines and leaking stuff with my suitcase and steel lunchbox
Oh,
because Fred had
you
too
get all
much
the
good
fun.
stuff in the front.
And it's a
And
beautiful sunny day in California.
so it was nice of me speeding down the freeways, hanging on to the engine, the broken engine in the back. So that was my first welcome to Santa Ana. Once I got home, I was looking forward to going to Disney World, which is only about 2 miles away from Nanner's house. We could almost walk there. And I asked about going to there, and Nanner's response was, "What do you remember? What her response was, Greg?"
Something like
Yes,
hell.
yeah, that was pretty much summed it up. She goes, "No, we have important stuff to do. We're going to go to a bingo, an all-night bingo game tonight.
which is equally as fun.
Can't believe it. So here
Well,
I
look how
am.
much you're gonna win stuff, Mark. You go to Disney, you gotta pay. So forget it.
Yeah, forget that. So for a 7-year-old, I toddle off with Nanner, joined by Aunt Tess, and off we go. Now, Aunt Tess and Nanner had this wonderful characteristic of trait of kissing you on the cheek exuberantly, so you were plastered with lipstick, which they applied with a
Which
roller.
you
So
were
on the
properly
bright
marked.
side, my cheeks were really clean, scraping that stuff off. So that was
Yeah,
a
but
side benefit as
it's
we
the first
toddled
time your
off.
cheeks have been clean in a long time.
Yes, I have. Yeah, in fact, you still see a little bit. That's why I have this beard covering up the excess lipstick stains. It
To
has some
this
kind of
day,
dye on it
this
that I'm sure
day,
hasn't caused
it's
any
scarred my
medical problems.
face forever.
Yeah, but it's nice because people think it's a birthmark. But anyway, we get to the bingo parlor and it's literally filled with smoke because I'm the only person in there not smoking. So something in my
You are now.
self-preservation self-preservation goes, I got to figure a way out of here. And with that, dear listener, we're going to leave you and say if you're interested to find out
Ooh,
what happens
it's
at
it's
the
a
bingo
it's a
parlor.
cliffhanger.
Yes, it is a veritable cliffhanger. And yes, Nanner lived to be 100, and so did Aunt Tess. And they both smoked 2 packs a day till they couldn't smoke anymore. So,
Yeah, she just
um,
stopped smoking because she just felt like it at 99.
yeah,
She got bored doing it. I mean, good
yes,
for her. She lived to be
the
100
two
years old and
survived,
she smoked like a chimney.
and they'll both come
But there's
back in
stories about
another.
that too in the book.
Yes, there's lots more funny things that happen in the old market, the place, and Nanner's idea of what to watch on television, what not to do. So with that, Greg, do you have anything to add? The book, hey, where do the decades go? Now, if you look where Greg's hand is on this, you'll see a picture. That's right, Greg's covering it up nicely. The Greg you recognize in the red coat, the fat kid on the end is me, and that's our brother Gary who came along a little bit later.
A little bit later.
But
Look how
that's what the
stylish
book
you are.
looks like, and we encourage you to buy it, and hopefully it'll be made into a TV movie
Small
sometime
book,
down the road. Oh,
lots
that's
of stuff,
perfect.
big print.
Very good. All right, with that, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you. Cheers.